arters.
Welcome to Art for Well-Beings.
That's beings with an S. It's plural.
A show to end all shows. A time to watch, learn, listen.
Hear, see, feel, be, do, have.
Art, and more art.
Visual art, human art.
So, without further delay, let's give a warm welcome to our host,
Local celebrity.
Judy Gittleson.
Hello, and welcome to episode number 7, all about white. And white is such a cool color, and we'll get into that. We have a marvelous show coming up for you. We have About a Painting, we have A Very Well-Being, we have Paint and Response, and we have Manners and Grammar. And first, before we begin the show, we're going to do a tribute to a dear friend of ours who's passed, and that's Priya. And I have next to me a painting by Priya. And this is a painting by Priya that I wanted to share with you. We will miss her. And back to white. And I'm here today with our marvelous co-host, Michael Buteau. And Michael, because I cannot remember, Michael's going to tell us about white. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you, Judy. I would just like to just kind of clear up the difference between, like, you know, the scientific part of white and the more fine arts part of white. When you're talking about science, you're basically talking about white light, which is, unlike fine arts, it's a mixture of all the light from the spectrum, and basically what you get when you put all those colors together is you get white. Now, however, it's basically the opposite of that with fine arts, because it's the absence of colors, like just a white board or anything like white canvas or just that kind of thing.
So that cleared it up for me. How about you? So, wow, is white a color or whatever? But more importantly, we're here today and we have many very well-beings, and I'd like to introduce them to you. And we have our marvelous Nick Golick.
Hi.
And Nick, welcome to the show. And you are an artist and you work with me every week.
Yes, Judy.
And what do you think about the color white?
Well, I think about a white because it's snow, and everything but white is famous color.
It's a famous color. That's a cool way to look at it. And it's famous because you see it lots of places, right?
Yes, like snow and kind of Christmas Eve white.
That's cool.
And thank you for coming in the show.
And we're also privileged today to have our manners experts with us. My friend Amanda and Armando, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you!
And Armando, can you tell us what you think of the color white?
White is like they have polar bears white.
Yeah?
Castles,
Castles.
snow is
Snow.
white. And
And how about your shirt?
it's white.
And when we paint in the studio, do we paint with white?
Yes.
Yes, that's really cool. And Amanda, do you have something about white you'd like to contribute?
Yeah, when I think of white caps at the beach. And I love watching waves, and just the contrast of the white with the blue or the green of the waves is really lovely.
Cool. Well, welcome all of you. And what we're doing today is we're showing that white is both in science and in art. The absence, if I'm right, and the multitude, or the tons of things. And so we're going to see that from many perspectives over and over. And we're going to talk about a painting. And right behind me is a painting that is called Wow, Would You Shut Up? And by the end of the show, we imagine you will be saying, wow, would you shut up? And this painting came to me in a dream, and I woke from the dream saying, now, would you shut up? And then I thought, diamonds and caves. And the interesting thing is that with painting, you can paint a dream. And in what format can you do that? You can't film your dreams. And so what's neat about it is how to render a dream into a painting, and then you get to see what it means to you. That's really cool. And what I thought about it was the idea that we can, in our lives, and the cool thing about being an artist is you can be a crackpot philosopher. And what I liked about it was that there are points in time where you can go, would you just stop? And you can do that in a painting. And that's what I felt it was about, and that the diamonds in the cave were kind of like me giving my most important possession away to you. Just my most vulnerable, okay, there you have it, that's all. So that was kind of the impetus of the painting. And then, Michael, what do you see in the painting or what struck you about the painting?
Well, what strikes me is this this bottom, the kind of bottom right area, just with its kind of the cave aspect. It's really cool how you see the inside of the cave, and you see this ring of this kind of circle of what I believe is diamonds.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just nice how it's kind of it's very pure and clear, like the color white.
Thank you. And Amanda, what do you see in the painting? What struck you about it?
Well, there's a lot going on, and I think for me, what calls to me is the top left-hand pane, which is very quiet and very serene. It reminds me of Half Moon Bay and Mavericks, and you know, especially with the blue right next to it. It just feels like I'm walking around the corner and getting onto the Mavericks beach, and it just has a lot of quietness, and it's an interesting contrast to the other four panels. Well, the two of the panels, which have a lot going on, a lot of color and a lot of movement. And I suppose really you could almost look at, if there were a cave at Mavericks, it could probably look like that with the diamonds.
Well, thank you. And before I ask Nick and Armando what they think of the painting, what I want to point out is that with painting, we can transport people places. Mm-hmm. And that's really neat, that I can paint some pictures of some rocks and it can make you think or feel about that Mavericks.
Yeah.
And the feelings of that place. And Armando, can I ask you, what struck you about this painting?
It's like a potato.
It's like a volcano.
A potato.
Oh, that one's like a potato. Okay, we're going to get to that one in a minute. How about the one behind me?
Huh?
The one behind me. What do you think of that one?
I like the different colors.
Ah, lots of colors. Which colors do you see?
I see pink,
Pink.
orange,
Orange.
red,
Aha.
blue, and
That's enough.
yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
And Nick, what do you feel about this painting? What do you think about it?
Well, I was thinking about the painting is, if you were closing your eyes, have a dream about cave, diamonds, water, bridges, and I know the rocks are made from San Francisco,
Aha.
and that painting is kind of colorful, and I really like it. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. That was great. And now we're going to talk about the painting behind Nick, which is called The Seed of Light. And why I included this painting in this show is because it was talking about light and how light reveals white in a very different way than the act of painting. And the idea that the seed of light, that's a play on words of the speed of light, and the seed of light, the idea that we carry light through something. And the other reason I included this painting today is because it's an object, and I'm going to talk about why I included that in a second, but it's an object, and it has a force. And Nick, do you want to tell us what you think of this painting?
Can I stand and talk about it?
You can stand, yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess.
You know what, you have to come forward a little bit or you're going to be in a little too dark.
Where?
Why don't you
Right
come stand right next to
right
me
here?
here? Yeah, perfect. Come
Okay.
right here. A little forward. Okay. There we
Sure.
go. One step this way.
Well, I was thinking about this painting. This shape, it looks like a ship floating on that
Ah,
green mountain. Just keep floating. And if I see the painting, it will open, and those colors are inside that.
And what you
shape.
just said, I'm going to stop you there. What you just said is exactly what I wanted to talk about, that the painting called Rolling White is the inside. That's exactly why I put that there.
Yes,
because
Judy.
that one is about the insides of something. And Rolling White, I included it because the idea that the inside of that seed could be something rolling of light. You jumped way ahead with that one. Okay, now we're going to go to the next segment. Thank you, Nick.
You too, Judy.
We're going to go on and we're going to talk about these paintings, and we had Priya's painting here. Last time, for our paint and response section, you may remember we did sticks. And these are some sticks that were brought into the studio. This is by Glenn. And we did sticks with micaceous iron oxide, I believe, and we painted the insides following the grain. And look at that. And then we have some sticks by other students and by people that brought them in. And look at this beautiful stick right there. I'm going to turn this one around so we can see these very clearly. Whoops. So we can see those very clearly. That happens on cable TV. And here's a beautiful stick by Lindsay.
Her daughter.
And this is this one by Kate? Yeah. And here's another stick. And look at how all these different people did sticks. And here comes one by our guest Armando. This is your painting, huh, Armando? And here's another stick.
Bye.
I think this one, I'm not sure who this one's by, and this one's by another.
It has no
This
name.
one's. And today, that one's by Tijen, and I forget who Tijen is. And last week we did sticks, and this week we're going to merge two types of things. We're going to do paint and response with tandem painting. And in this episode coming up, or in this film coming up, Barbara and I are painting flowers for spring. And what I'm working on with tandem painting is two people creating side by side with the same impetus and seeing how we interpret differently than one another. And we did flowers because we're in the month of spring. These flowers are white, but the ones we're going to be working on are in color. Now, when we come back, we're going to talk to you about a very well-being. We're going to talk about one another, and we're going to revisit the subject of white, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you have one more thing you'd like to say about white before we go to the break?
No.
Nothing from
I have
you.
a little question.
Go ahead, Dick.
Well, white means
Stay right where you are, and they're going to get you, and you've got a real quick white.
okay. White means it's a winter white.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And how this is the month of spring, and kind of it was winter and now it's spring. It's kind of like the seasons.
Well, yes, Michael. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay, and here we have the paint and response tandem. Hello, and today's paint and response is going to dovetail with the idea of tandem painting, and I'm here today, I'm Judy Gittleson, your host, and I'm here today with Barbara Rusgarian. Hello, Barbara. Welcome.
Thank you.
And we're going to work on subtractive technique, a technique where we wipe away. We're going to be working with the open paints, which are a new polymer. We haven't even worked with the open paints yet on the show. And we're going to put them on a surface of molding paste. Molding paste is a great gel. It's the first gel, and it's made with marble dust. So it's very heavy. And as a surface to paint upon, it offers us a slicker surface. So we're going to be painting on top of the molding paste with the open paints, and we're going to be painting a flower because this is the month of spring. So are we ready, Barbara?
I'm ready.
Okay.
yellow, red, and orange.
I made the orange. I made the orange out of, here, Nick, I'll tell you that. I made the orange out of red and
Yellow.
excellent. So now Barbara and I have painted an entire layer of open paints on top of light molding paste. We are now going to do a subtractive technique. Are you ready to watch this?
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys want to be on TV?
Yeah.
All right, Barbara, are we ready to do some subtractive technique? So to do the subtractive technique, we're going to use open thinner. This is a tiny, tiny bottle. Barbara and I are going to put a little bit of thinner right on our cloth, and we're going to use a dust-free cloth, but we don't really have a dust-free cloth. And then we're going to wipe away paint. The open wipes away really easily on its own, but with the thinner, and Michael, when you're ready, you can come up and watch this amazing thing. Okay, here we go, and it absorbs quickly, so we're going to go kind of quickly, and we're going to wipe away paint. Ready? And we're going to wipe away. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Isn't this beautiful, Barbara?
Oh, yes. It really brings brightness into the colors.
And it brings brightness by using the color white, right?
Yes.
By lightening the things up.
So instead of adding white, you're removing to bring the white out,
Right.
which is very interesting.
I'll set it down on the table so are the brushes in the way? Or? Voila. And that was Barbara and I painting with the open paints, doing a subtractive technique which creates white. And we're back on the set, and we're really excited to have our manner enthusiasts with us. And would you guys like to tell us what's coming up?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know how you do it. It's good.
Well, Armando and I got together in the
And
studio.
here, sorry to interrupt. Well, I know that's
All right.
not good manners, but we're ready to go.
Manners and Grammar with Amanda, and today I have Armando with me. Armando is a fellow manners enthusiast and advocate. And so Judy has a painting in this episode called Please Would You Shut Up? And Armando and I have been talking about it, haven't we?
Yes.
So we're thinking there might be something else that you could say instead of Please Would You Shut Up? What do you think?
In a nice way, say, please be quiet.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, I agree. That's a nice way of saying this. Please would you be quiet. So that's it with Manners and Grammar with Amanda and Armando. Thanks for watching.
We're gonna be on channel 29.
I think it's 27.
All right.
27.
I got my numbers mixed up.
Oh my God, Amanda.
And thank you, Amanda, and I apologize for the interruption just moments ago. So that's how we do good manners, is we apologize and move on. And now, Nick, do you want to tell us really quickly who we're going to see next?
We're going to see Jenny.
Yeah, and who's Jenny?
Jenny's my best friend from Special Olympics.
And here I am today with Jenny Soup of Very Well Being. Just Jenny, right? And what are we going to paint?
A flower.
All right, because it's spring. Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
you paint?
Flowers.
But they're the buds, right? Yeah, you painted the buds? Yours are flowers too? Okay. They're the new flowers? And mine's one flower. And you did 5, right?
I forced it on her. Oh, it's so cute with all the flowers.
Yeah, mine.
It's so springy. And that was a lot of flowers. And it is spring. And now, Michael, do you want to tell us what's coming up?
Yeah. So this is just it's another edition of the critically acclaimed Planet Daisy. It's something that I've been working on for a while with Judy's boyfriend Greg, and it's just it's a very nice culmination. It's very different from what you've seen previously, and here it is. And there we are, from many flowers to Daisy. And what a marvelous moment we've just had, celebrating white, celebrating spring coming and flowers blooming with all these wonderful people. And I just want to say a revisit and a thank you to Michael. Yeah, and I'm just sorry our other good friend Mavis couldn't make it this time.
And she'll be back. And then we have thank you, Nick, thank you, Amanda, and thank you, Armando.
And we cut.
And that's it. See, oh, we have to stretch it out. Okay, I misread that. So now, when you come back, we're going to talk about a different color. Next time,
Black.
Black? Gray.
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 Sorry,
We're
my
going to
fault.
go from white to gray to black.
Okay.
And then we'll start the whole thing over again. And it's been a pleasure to be with you. And we hope you keep painting. And thank you, our sponsor, Golden Paints. Come to our studio and paint with us. And if you send flowers to our Facebook page, artforwellbeings.com. Thank you, Armando. And you send your flowers in, we would love to show them on the show. So thanks very much for being with us. And we look forward to our next episode.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
And Armando, did you like being on TV? What was your favorite?